Morning. First, I want to express my sorrow to all the New York Giants fans. Looks like they've conceded the season and they're already getting their mock draft picks prepared. To the Jets fans like Brian Frierson, you live to see another game, and that's Thursday. On a serious note, when we discussed the renovation of these buildings, we talked about announcing it to commemorate the 1-year anniversary of the unfortunate death of a 4-term mayor of Paterson, Lawrence Pat Kramer, who we lost last August 24, 2023 to be exact. But unfortunately, when we were planning to make this announcement last month, we lost another legend who is late and lamented, of course, Congressman Bill Pascrell, who we lost on August 21st of this year. So today we dedicate this restoration, the beautification, the preservation is even better, to the memory of both Pat Kramer, whose wife was a champion for the National Park, former First Lady, and she was Mary Ellen Kramer Park. Just to give you a little perspective, on June 6, 1976, when Pat Kramer was in office and his wife was the First Lady, he brought a sitting president to the Great Falls. At that time, it was Gerald Ford. And to put it in perspective how times have changed, Gerald Ford actually stayed at Pat Kramer's house. So much for like a motel or a hotel. He was on East 38th between 11th and Broadway. I live 2 blocks from there now. But I'm not going to give you my address, because then you'll come to my house. It is, that's true, but I still don't want to encourage people to come. And so, Pat Kramer, we remember him and his wife for their exemplary efforts so that we can get to this point where we're a national park. But we could not become a national park without Congressman Bill Pascrell. Let it be known. He fought the real good fight, and he won. There was actually opposition in Washington, I believe on the other side of the aisle, but I'm not going to name names. And ultimately, he waged war in Washington like he typically did, and we got this designation. Now, on Friday, we unveiled the Quarry Lawn / Riverwalk project, and he fought for that too and got us funding. And stay tuned as the EPA remediates that situation, and hopefully around this time next year, we'll be having ribbon cutting there. But the last press conference that we had with Congressman Bill Pascrell relative to the Great Falls, which he obviously was instrumental in getting designated a national park, was pertaining to the bridge, the pedestrian bridge, which hasn't been open in over 2 years, right, Gus? 2 years. And now, the last press conference we had hosted with Congressman Pascrell, he got us the money so we can finish. And that's going to go out to bid, and hopefully by this time next year, right, Gus? We'll be cutting the ribbon on the Great Falls pedestrian bridge. I'm sorry, let me correct myself. The Congressman Bill Pascrell pedestrian bridge. But it doesn't end there, because right above Hinchliffe Stadium, Vista Park, will be going out to bid. The council supports that project. It's the highest point in Paterson, and you're going to see it's going to be one of the premier state parks in New Jersey, maybe around this time again. So you see a common theme. There's a lot of synergy that's building around this partnership park. That's what Darren Bach always calls it, our superintendent. We're proud to have a partner in Jim Mueller and the Passaic Valley Water Commission. That's what we're going to announce today. But just know the focal point of Paterson's resurgence is here. We opened up Hinchliffe Stadium last year. We cut the ribbon on the new museum this year. There's a new early childhood center there as well. So like I stated before, we want the Great Falls to become New Jersey's #1 tourist attraction and a destination, an international destination, so that people come as far as Asia and Africa to Paterson. And it's happening, and it's going to continue to happen, because as Darren says, 300,000 people annually visit the Great Falls. With all the work that's being done, I'm sure that's going to increase. And one day, Jim, 1 million people will be visiting Paterson. Hopefully it'll be sometime soon. It'll be before the Giants win their next Super Bowl. I have to come back full circle. I want to call an audible. Let's hear from the council first, and then we'll get to the meat of the lineup here. Ladies and gentlemen who supports all of our efforts to revitalize the Great Falls National Park are represented in the 5th Ward, where now some of the Great Falls is in, right? Luis A. Velez. Tell him what the A stands for.
Alliance. Everybody good.
Alliance. That was good.
Okay. And in Spanish, agua. So ladies and gentlemen, one simple word I could say about what's going on in this area is that we bring in to life the jury of Paterson. This is our jury. This is why people say we got the best Great Falls in New Jersey. And investing in our jury is a must because we do it now and we're gonna keep it for those that come behind us. We paving the road for those that thought that Paterson doesn't have nothing good to give. We do. Just come to Paterson and experience yourself that we're doing improvement and that we're doing it together, because this is a collaboration between the municipal government, the municipal council, the agency that are with us, like the Water Commission, Park Ranger, Superintendent, National Park. This is a collaboration of effort to make sure that Paterson thrive. And we're going to continue doing it because our heart is in this land. Our heart is in this city, and our heart will go to those people that want to see our city succeed. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilman. Now, our next speaker wears multiple hats. She's not only a councilwoman from the 4th Ward, but she is a commissioner of the Passaic Valley Water Commission, our former mayor. And like I stated before, current councilwoman from the 4th Ward, the Honorable Ruby N. Cotton.
Thank you, Mayor. First, let me say good morning to everyone. You know, standing here today, I always say that, you know, I can start many projects, but sometimes you're not able to see them to the end. And I can say for Passaic Valley Water, our superintendent for the historic park, it's nice to see projects from start to finish. And I can clearly say I'm here from the beginning and to see the end of it. Because if you would have seen what these buildings look like before, when you have something beautiful over there like our Hitchcliff Stadium, you have Mary Ellen Kramer Park, you wanted to make sure that the buildings that were here were beautiful too. And so when you come here, you will be able to, is it on? Hello?
Something she said?
No. Okay. You know, when you come here, you'll be able to see everything that's being done here. And I want to say, Mayor, this is a great day. You know, you always have to have vision. As an elected official, you should have vision. You should be able to see what you want to see and how everybody else will want to see things. So for this being here today for me, to see a project from start to finish is absolutely wonderful. And I want to thank all the partners. And I always say, without partners, you can't get anything done. And for those who say we don't need partners, yes, we do need partners. We need our Passaic Valley Water. We need our superintendent of the park. We need our council members. We need our administration. And we need, most of all, you out there, the citizens of the city of Paterson, to want to be able to get this done, to come here and to walk here and just sit for a minute, and you'll see how calm this falls in you, and you feel good. People in our city need to start to feel good. And this is a start, Mayor, of coming here to see this, for everyone to see this. I'm happy, Councilman Luis Velez, that we saw something from the beginning, and we see it to the end. And I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, everyone. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's, experiencing some technical difficulties, but I know how to project. I took voice lessons in college. I want to welcome our friends North Halden and I think New Mexico. They came all the way to New Mexico just so they can learn more about the pump house and the gas house. I'm sorry, the Jim Mueller pump house and the Darren Bach gas house, because it goes better with Gus gas house, that type of thing. Yes, and look, to our special guests, you only appreciate if you see the before pictures like Councilwoman Cotton, Commissioner Cotton was alluding to, because credit to PVWC, they restored it to its original facade, both buildings to their original facades. So you're talking about a pump house that was built circa 1895 and a gas house early 1900s. And so in the spirit of beautification and preservation, the PVWC honored our history appropriately. Yes, come on. Come on, I feel like I'm in a Mets game and they haven't scored a run yet. Is that good, Gus? Ladies and gentlemen, we're honored and we're proud to have our superintendent, who is a product of Paterson. There's not many people that can say, look, they were born in Paterson and then they came back to be a part of a historic undertaking such as the Great Falls National Park, and he's having a positive impact. We have the amphitheater, we have the quarry lawn, we have the Riverwalk, we have the stadium, we have the museum. Now we have our historic buildings. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Superintendent Darren Bach, Great Falls National Park Superintendent.
Thank you, Mayor, Councilman Velez, Councilwoman Cotton, and Jim. I appreciate the time. Mayor, on a did you know on President Ford, who designated this the Great Falls Historic District, he was the only president to have ever worn this uniform.
Whoa.
He was a seasonal park ranger at Yellowstone. So put that in your back pocket,
will,
in
sir.
your quiver.
If I'm on Jeopardy,
yeah.
come on.
He was. And it's very fitting. So you would think that these buildings related to water have no relationship to the national park in which these buildings sit. But in reality, the story of this national park is really a story of water power. So whether it's the Society for Useful Manufacture, which was founded by Hamilton,
Correct.
in which they use that water to course through the raceway system, which goes through the city, which, Mayor, before you and I are gone, we got to cut a ribbon opening that raceway system. But
even if we have to pour water ourselves.
this city is all really ultimately a story about water power, a story that never ended. Whether it was powering factories, whether it was using water for industrial processes, or whether it's water for drinking, or even today, an active hydro plant at the base of the falls that creates enough power for about 10,000 homes in Paterson each and every day. The story of water and the story of the Great Falls are really intertwined and overlap. So, Jim, these buildings belong here.
Yes.
They are a part of this story, and I am so appreciative of the Passaic Valley Water Commission in the diligence that your team and your contractors have taken to really make these buildings look like the 19th century beautiful structures that they were and that they are once again. Because as the mayor said, we have 300,000 and growing visitors in this national park walking down this path, and now they're going to look to their right and see buildings again that belong here.
Yeah.
So, appreciate that. Anyway, I just want to give thanks. Appreciate the invite to be here and to working with the Water Commission on maintaining these properties after this day in a partnership together. So thank you very much.
Now you see why we're naming the gas house after Darren Bach. Well, that wasn't me. You'd have to vote on that one. It's not an act of Congress, an act of their commission. But I want to build on what Darren Bach was saying, and I think you and I are simpatico when we state that Paterson can make an argument we're the first sustainable city in the United States of America. Because if you're going to talk about Alexander Hamilton and the first planned industrial city, well, I mean, where'd they get the power for the factories? The water. It never ends, right? It's ceaseless. Didn't Bruce Lee say, be water? Paterson is water. Be what we took him at his word long before he even said it. But nevertheless, yes, an argument can be made we're the first sustainable city because we use the water for hydropower. But that's above my pay grade. That's Jim Mueller territory there. He could get into geek speak, and he will in a second. I do want to acknowledge from Assemblywoman Siobhan DeSumter's office, Marilyn Frierson. Thank you for joining us. So yeah, the moment has arrived, our cleanup hitter. And I called him constantly to get updates on the progress of the preservation project. And in between, of course, I'd get a few digs because he's a New York Yankees fan and their record against the Mets is 0-4 this year. But there's always the possibility of a Subway Series.
Yes.
Who applauded? New Mexico? Okay, yeah, that's good. Okay. We're on a Subway Series. Yes, that's right. So at this time, I want to call forward. If you want to talk about it as a partnership park, here's another partner from the Passaic Valley Water Commission, who made this happen, our executive director, Jim Mueller. To bring it home, too. You have the last word there.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
About the Mets.
Thanks everyone for coming out today. I just want to thank my team. Number one, Brian Frierson's here from our communication department.
Sauce.
We have Sauce Gardner. We have Phelps Construction, who's the contractor that did all this great work. We have Bill O'Garrett, our architect,
Yes.
who helped us also work with the state. I have to thank New Jersey DEP and the Historic Preservation Office that we worked with to make sure everything was done in accordance with the right specs and refurbished the way it was supposed to be. And as well as our team, Julie Alessandrelli, my supervising engineer who's not here today, Nancy Master, one of our principal engineers here today, David Sofer, senior engineer,
Applaud for them.
the great PVWC team that's really needed to make sure we're sustainable as a water company. Water company began 175 years ago with the Passaic Water Company that took water off the Passaic River and began to distribute it to Paterson and the surrounding environs at the time. So we're 175 years old. PVWC maintains that legacy, and we continually are looking to invest in our system, modernize it, make sure it provides clean, safe drinking water for the citizens of Paterson and all of the customers for PVWC's service area. So we're proud to do that. This $2.1 million project that was finished on time and on budget is one example of that, and there's more to come. Lavine Reservoir, we're looking to build storage tanks there imminently in accordance with federal mandates. We're looking to invest in our water mains and our system out in the street to make sure people are getting water at the right pressure, clean, health, safe water, reliable water. So we're proud to be there. We want to thank Commissioner Cotton for all her support as key commissioner and the Board of Commissioners as a whole. Pleasure to partner with you, Darren, National Park Service, Councilman Velez, and of course Mayor Sayegh. We really appreciate all the support. We're happy to serve the citizens of our great service area. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Director.
All right, Jim. I really appreciate that. And I won't bug you anymore, at least not unless they play.
Thank God.
So today, in memory of icons here in the city of Paterson, two legends, well, three I should say. Former First Lady Mary Ellen Kramer Park, former Mayor Pat Kramer, former Mayor and Congressman Bill Pascrell. We cut the ribbon on these two restored buildings in honor of the historic value that they have and in honor of what we're trying to do with beautifying the Great Falls. So let's cut the ribbon. Let's do this. Come on.
PVWC!
On three.